the know, just how much to show, to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's tailored to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's tailored to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue. To be in the know, just come watch the show, to know what to do. Just jump in the queue, it's tailored to you. So what you gonna do? All in the queue, it's tailored to you. All in the queue, it's check out the view. All in the queue. All in the queue, it's tailored to you. All in the queue, just check out the view. All in the queue.
On this good Sunday morning, I have prepared a statement for the men that are in my comment section saying derogatory things. I see y'all decrepit, bald-headed, stinking asses, but I have refused to respond to y'all because I ain't had the time. So I just wanted to make a blanket statement for every man that said something crazy to me. One man even told me I wasn't all that, and we know that is a lie. But anyway, I just want you to know I have been praying that your life get worse. Okay? I've been praying because it's already miserable because you in a woman comment section messing with her when she ain't messing with you. So I already know you're in a miserable life. You're living in somebody's basement and it smell like peanuts because they done peed on that couch. They done let their pit bull puppies pee on the couch and fight on it. So your life already bad and I want it to be worse. That's the end of my statement. That's all I got. I hope y'all have a wonderful Sunday.
Hello, good evening. How are you all doing out there? I hope that you all are doing well. Let me speak and then we can get to the business at hand. Hey Jody, how you doing? Hey Nope Not Even, how are you? Enrique Munez, how you doing? Jim C, good afternoon to you. Whistleback, what up, what it do? Kenneth Dawkins. Kenneth Dawkins. Kenneth Dawkins. How are you today, Kenneth Dawkins? All right. Yes, I want to say give a shout out to all my mods. Nope, not even Marcus Harmon, Justin Thompson, Shanita Lanier, and Foxy to Roxy. Thank you guys for keeping the chat in order, and thank you for making sure that everyone hits the like button as they come in. Saint Center, how are you? Patrice Nixon, how are you? I am doing great. Today, you can see the topic. We are going to be talking about. Hold on, I forgot something. Jesus, my goodness. Let me get a bit of business out of the way first. First and foremost, I want to thank everyone who supports this channel. To everyone who tunes in, shares, likes, subscribe. Thank you for doing those things. I really appreciate them. And it really does, just boost this channel. And I appreciate you all for that. Give me 1 second. Nope, that's not what I want. That's not what I want. My gosh. That's not what I want. Give me 1 second because I'm trying to do something. Wow. That was amazing. I just learned something new. Wow. Okay, I'm gonna copy, paste. All right. So I just put a link in the chat. This link, let me see if it works. I'll make sure it works. Okay, yeah, it does. All right. Hold on. Okay, there we go. Okay, let me see who else came in the room while I was asking you to hold the line, please. Hey, Miss Prima Donna, how are you? Okay, so I put this link in the chat. This is Alexis Wilson's mother. I talk to Kyra frequently. We have conversed, man, a lot during this. I really appreciate her. I really appreciate her support. This year, she's not able to have she's every year she has this butterfly release for Alexis Wilson. This year she's not able to have the full ceremony that she wants to have because she has another daughter who is graduating this year. And congratulations to that daughter whose name is, I don't want to get the name wrong. I hope it's Laya. Laya is graduating this year. And so she's not able to do both things, have the butterfly release and have a graduation party and all of the things that come along with the graduation. And so I would like for us to help her raise $214.68 in order to get the butterflies that it takes to be released. I think she may do some like small ceremony on the day, and the day is in July sometime, I believe. A small ceremony where she'll just release the butterflies. So I'm going to donate directly to her, but she asked if I will post the GoFundMe for people to be able to donate to for that purpose. And that's why I'm doing that here. And I'm also going to put it on my one pager, on my YouTube one pager, so you can go there. And do that. And I want to help her offset the costs for the butterfly release, just to do that portion, just for the butterflies. When we did it last year, when I was there last year, it was so awesome. There were so many butterflies released. It was amazing. And everybody got like a little butterfly packet, and when you opened it up, the butterflies just flew out. It was so amazing. And so I would like to help her do that. And thank you, Jerry Liscombe, for the super chat of $5. We're going to get to the business at hand, and we're going to get on out of here because we're going to be back tonight on Twitch. So if you haven't joined Twitch, try to make your way to do so. We're going to be on there tonight, handling loads of business on there tonight. So let's, the topic today, now that I got that out of the way, and thank you guys. I just appreciate you guys so much. Jerry Liscombe, I will send the $10 directly to Cara as soon as I get off from here. Thank you so much. I will send that to her. Okay. And I'll make sure she gets that. Okay. Thank you so much. All right. So the topic for today is Thornton Township grant and employee info. So I did a series of FOIs. You all know that I FOI'd the grant information from the Department of Human Services. And then I FOI'd again. I FOI'd again because we wanted the contracts, right? That they said they were going to have for the people that were involved, like the licensed counselors and professionals that they said that were going to be involved in this program, supporting the at-risk youth in this grant program. And so I FOI'd the Department of Human Services again for that information. Listen, for me, they could have just told me, you know what? We don't have a damn thing. We don't have anything. Okay. because they sent me the same thing over again at bar one paper. There was one extra paper that I received that we're going to look at right now. And let me put it on the screen. And this is the paper that they sent. This is the extra paper that we have not seen. That this was a periodic performance report. I'm guessing that they had to fill out every quarter. So this was the beginning of the report, where they just, filled out that when it started September 1st to June 30th is when the grant was supposed to run. September 1st of 22 and June 30th of 23 is how long the grant was supposed to go for. And so if you look at this is a different paper than we've seen. They actually had to take statistics. And I remember when I told you guys, if you're doing a nonprofit and you wanted to start getting any type of grant money for your LLCs or your non-for-profits, right? You need to collect this information in order to receive a lot of these grants out here, right? So you have to collect information like gender and ethnicity in order to unlock like a whole other level of grants, right? And so either you have to have that in place already now with your nonprofit. So if you're just starting your nonprofit, make sure you put something like that in place now, right? A form that you will have, an intake form that you will have your clients fill out with their gender and their ethnicity. That is a statistics that the state collects for whatever reason. It's the government, they got all kinds of paper that they want to collect information for. And so if you do that, right, if you have that set up in your not-for-profit when you're dealing with your clients, it will unlock a whole other level of grants available to you. And you won't be competing so much for grants with like a whole bunch of other people that don't collect this information, right? So that is why I was stressing to you all that time. So this is what they did. This is how it was, this was another form that they were supposed to be filling out. Now, if you remember when we saw the grant, they said that they were going to service 39 at-risk youth. Matter of fact, let me bring up the application where they stated how many youth they were going to service. All right, I have it here. Okay, here on this paper, this was their application that they turned in. This is what they wrote for their application that they had to write. Hello, Bubble Idiot. Hey, Wyoming gal, how are you? This is what they wrote. They wrote that the township would commit to engaging 39 at-risk youth each quarter. And so that is what they stated. Let's go back to our other page. And this is what they listed that they had proposed 39 at-risk youth. So this form, they were supposed to fill out every quarter, it looks like. Yeah, this was for quarter one with the statistics and whatever. But this, they were just starting. So they actually had not, encountered any youth or accepted any youth in the program with this where they're just starting. So they just put the number that they said they were going to service there. But look at all these things that they were supposed to answer. Performance measures, the total number of youth that decrease hostile interactions in and outside controlled environments. These are all things, actual numbers, proposed numbers, measure, proposed versus actual, that all of these things they're supposed to be filling out. every quarter. Then you get through to section 4, and it tells you about grant specific conditions related to internal control questionnaire, merit based review, and pragmatic risk assessment, right? And so ICQ, internal control questionnaire, and that's something that you can look up. There's a whole questionnaire that you fill out or that you go by. And then you're supposed to give the total grant expenditures. This is performance accomplishment, section 5. Um, and just in my dealings, and then right here, name and title of authorized individual from grant organization. Robert Hunt's name is on this form that he filled it out, that he's agreeing that everything that he wrote here is actually what happened. Wow. Like, I don't know that I would have put my name there. Is this the grant that Kamal was hired for? Yes. Yes, it is. And I don't know why Kamal's name is not there, because that is where Kamal's name should have been. Name and title of authorized individual from grant organization. Kamal is the person that should have been filling this out, not the finance director, but the director of the grant program should have been filling all of this out. If he needed guidance, that could have came from the finance director if he knew. But as far as this paper is concerned, yeah, your boy was supposed to be filling this out. All right. So let's go to the next quarter. This is quarter 2. During quarter 2, they still don't fill out any of this information. I would think that by quarter 2, they would have at least intake 10, let's say 10 kids. I'll give you enough time. Let's say 10 kids. You got the money, you got approved for the grant in September. It looks like report period end date was 10/1. So this quarter 2 ended 10/1. So I would think it started in September. It says September 1. You would have at least intake, maybe 10 at-risk youth by this time. I mean, weeding out or whatever. But I feel like you should have somebody there. Let's see. SAD took the grant and never initiated the program for the 39 youth. Kamal should have filled out every quarter. There you go. Took the money and didn't. Okay, we're going to get to all of that. Like I said, he should have been filling this paper out with the guidance of the finance director. He was the director of the program. I don't understand why he did not have his name on any of this paperwork. This is what he's supposed to have been filling out. He was the director of the at-risk youth program. This is what comes along with being a director. All right. So we still don't have any youth. And this is from September to October 1. We still don't have any youth in this program. So we got a whole month and still nobody. We just have the 39 proposed. Okay. And then we go down here, the same thing. They just, they didn't have anything to fill out because they didn't do anything for a whole month. Here we are, Robert Hunt signing again. I would have never. Not me. All right, so here we are. I don't even know what quarter we in because he didn't put it on the paper. But I would assume this is quarter 3 because that was quarter. Yep, there you go right there. Report period quarter 3. Okay, quarter 3 was from, it looks like January to March. Well, no, it'll be from October 1 to January 1 because that was the last one. Oh, okay. Here we are. Now they have 19 males and 11 females. They have 1 African American and 29 multiple races. Now, this is where I had to pause because we talking about Thornton Township at-risk youth, 17 municipalities. You got 1 African American and the rest of them is multiple races. That's what you're telling me. Like, this is right. This is concerning to me. This is very concerning to me. Very concerning. Was Kamal being paid by check or cash? I have no idea. It seems that they would be being paid by cash, but that you can't even find out, because when you ask for the total packet, which I asked them to include payments, registers, time cards, this is what came. Okay. Hello, so we producer. That's why they keep calling Robert's name. He has his name on most of the documents. What documents was Kamal name on in Thornton job application and W-2? He only had 2 pieces of paper in his application. So, child, I don't even know. Kamal took the money for his person, and Kamal got something explained. That's something. I mean, he should have been explaining during the department heads reports. Okay. Okay, Kenneth Dawkins. Okay. Okay, fine and good. How does that match the area? These are the things that concern me. For me, if I'm sitting at the Department of Human Services and this is my grant that I'm supposed to be overseeing paperwork with, I'm automatically going to look at that number and ask for some clarification. I'm automatically going to look at that number and ask for some clarification, because we are talking about the Southland here, which is in that area probably predominantly African American. So what you're telling me is there was only one African American that you put in this program, and the rest of them were multiple races. Uh, and what is the definition of multiple race? What did that mean here? I'm just confused. Right there is where I would stop. Okay, this is where I would have stopped that foolery right there, because I would have asked, okay, the makeup of the Southland, 17 municipalities. I'm very confused at this moment. Okay. Okay. Lie, lie, lie. There were no kids in that program. They had more roaches in the building than kids. Oh my God. Listen, we're going to get to that, because we're going to get there. But right now, look at this. They say they got 30 kids already. Only one black one. Now, if I'm not mistaken, there is a video out there on TikTok of this teen summit. When I looked at the video of the teen summit, I did not see multiple races. I saw majority of African American children in this particular video. Hold on. Hold the line, please. Hold on. Hello, DMG. How are you? Oh, Robert, that's so funny. There is a TikTok video out there that I watched. That had this teen summit, and it showed, I think, a little bit of the concert that was had with G Herbo. And I can't remember who else was there. Hold on. Hey, Seashell, how are you? If I find it, I will I'll let you guys see it. But on that video, you can see that the majority of the kids that were out there were African American. So that number, oh, I found it. Child. Robert Hum is realizing he signed his freedom away. Child. I don't even know what to say at this point because the department head would have had to sign off on this because it wouldn't have never been me. Okay, let me see. Let me see if I can bring this up. So, because I just want to show you that, Department of Human Services, whoever was over this grant, yeah, I like I said, when I said that, when I said that, the state has very little oversight over their grants. This is what I mean when I say that. Right? This is what I mean when I say that. Immediately somebody should have looked at that and been like, no, that don't even look right. Let's see. All right, let me show y'all this video. This video is on TikTok. Let me see what y'all saying first before I play it. You're not going to be able to hear any sound because it has music in it. Where I live, West Coast, a lot of Black folks don't identify as African American. They identify as mixed race, but it may be different in Chicago. I worked in HR for a nonprofit and noticed that. Well, you know what, I have a question then, because when they're filling out this paperwork, there should be someone there explaining to them what mixed race means, right? What that actually means. And especially if the kids were filling it out. I don't know who actually was filling out this paperwork or who took these statistics, but like I said, someone should have been there explaining what that meant. Okay. Yeah, I don't know what constitutes mixed race. I don't know what they're saying. Who's responsible for grants at the state? Are they working for the people? There needs to be full details required. Okay. This particular grant, this at-risk youth grant, came through through the Department of Human Services, right? And it looks like to me that there were caseworkers or people assigned, because we have different signatures on different, papers in this grant. Different people were assigned to this grant to make sure that they were filling out the paperwork. For me, I feel like they were just making sure that the paperwork was filled out, like all the boxes were filled, right? And they weren't paying attention to what was in the boxes. Okay, this is the teen summit right here that took place with the at-risk youth grant money for the teens in Thornton Township. You're not going to hear any sound because, like I said, there's music. So this is the crowd. This is the crowd right here. Now, I don't necessarily know that I see, that I see, what they stated on this grant. Those are all the people on the stage with G Herbo. Okay. It said it's bringing awareness to mental health, but you can see the crowd. You can see the crowd that was out there, and what that entailed. Okay. So let's move through this paper. Those are our first statistics that we have there. And then it says they got 39 proposed, but right now they have 30. All these numbers match up. And then it says completed there. And then they say that they're at 77% of the people that they want in the program, which was the target number was 39. Let's see. They fill out all of the boxes with the questionnaires. They put yes, 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 and everything. And for me, this box is way vague. The ICQ questionnaire, it should be listed. It should be a separate sheet with the questions from the ICQ questionnaire, right? You shouldn't just be able to put yes, because what are we yesing? I mean, how does the public know? The merit-based review. We just putting yes. I want to know what the questions are. Um, okay. What are y'all saying? Y'all over here cutting up. All I know is somebody better be going to jail for this tomorrow. Okay? For the tomfoolery. I know that's right. I can put down anything if I pay you to look the other way. Okay? I can put down anything if I don't even have to pay you and you're not looking. Because the only thing you're looking for is the box to be filled. You're not looking for anything else. You're just looking for the box to be filled. And so, yeah, that's unfortunate. But we're here now. All right, and so then for this quarter, they put the total amount here that they spent for that quarter already. Okay. It says performance is consistent with grant to date expected services and expenditure earnings. And yet again, here's Robert, and his name is not even spelled correctly. Do you see what it says? It says Robert. It don't say Robert, it say Robert. Let me see if it say that on the other pages. That say Robert. I didn't even look. Nope, that one say Robert. Okay. So I'll put Robert too, because I'd be like, no, that ain't me. But anyway, this page says Robert. Do y'all see it? It says Robett. Hold on. It makes me think the whole grant program needs oversight. It does, especially at the state level. I think Robert was filling in that form just to be filling it out in case of an audit. Okay. Yep. Makes me curious what the other join choices are. Yeah. Just wanted the money, not the improvement of the youth. And for the fact that his name is on it. Yeah, that should be Kamal's name. I will never put my name on any of this. Robert actually was not the director, right? So why is he putting his name on this? He is director of finance. He was not the director of this grant. But I'm sure hindsight is better than foresight. So, there's that. And so now we're in quarter four. Quarter four, they got 57 males. Now, this is where it gets interesting for me, right? It gets interesting for me. What you want to ask? You said I want to ask Hunt if all this was worth it. Me too. I'd love to see that expense breakdown itemized. Yeah, I have it finding good. I've shown it on this platform. I'm going to show it today. If it is spelled wrong, Stank, fill that out. Okay. Yeah, when they say, is that your name? He can say, nope. That's what I say. Nope, my name not Robert. I don't know who did this paper. But anyway, this is what gives me pause right here. You see this? It says 57 males, right? And how many females? 42. Now we got 12 African American and 87 multiple races. Okay. Now, why this gives me pause? Do you all remember the meeting where they talked about grass cutting for an hour? Stan Brown stood up at that podium and they were talking about how they couldn't find any youth to cut the grass. All the youth that they found couldn't pass the drug test. So can you explain to me where you found 57 males for this program that could pass the drug test, right? Because they are working at this point, I was told that the youth were put in different municipalities at different offices and they work there, right? But they have to pass a drug test to do so because it's a government office, right? So everybody gets drug tested and fills out their application and things, right? Right. So where did they find 57 males for this program if they couldn't find any to cut the grass? Do y'all remember that meeting? I mean, they talked about grass for an hour. Stan stood up there. Uh, they can't pass the drug test. We can't find nobody. I was out there. I was out there cutting grass myself. So I am so confused as to where they found these 57 males. Okay. After you told us you couldn't find anybody to be a part of the grass cutting program because they couldn't pass the drug test, you can find nobody. So where did you find these 57? Yeah. And get this, the grass cutting program too was paid out of this grant. Mm-hmm. So where did you find them? Do we have people to cut the grass or not? And if we didn't, who on this registers that you paying saying was part of the ZAP program? That's the grass cutting program. I'm so confused. Come on, said boom boom. Robert Hunt named. So put forth an Illinois law that gives strict oversight of state grants, including repercussions, and that is my thought, right? So I have been researching on how to do that and what committee that would go to. So you have to find out what committee handles grants oversight, right, at the state level. And then you would have to submit to that committee your idea. You can do that either in writing or via video witness testimony. So, I mean, first I have to find which committee, and I haven't really had time to do that. But I will. I swear to all that holy, I need to be hired at some point. Okay. Y'all remember the meeting, okay? Okay, you remember. Is that me where Tiff said she personally purchased the mowers and wanted to be reimbursed? Exactly. I think that was also the meeting that the landscaper vendor showed up because he wasn't getting paid or something like that. I'm gonna have to go back and look at that meeting, but I know it was the video vendor, and then there was a grass cutting vendor that showed up and said he wasn't getting paid and he needed to get paid. They probably didn't have any youth that wanted to spend their summer cutting grass, but they said that they did. They said they found 57 people. Hey, Shanita Lanier, how are you today? Wasn't Stan over the grass cutting program. Stan was also a part of this at-risk youth program because you remember I showed you on the paper where it had Stan Brown getting paid and it had Robert. And at that point, it didn't have Kamal yet, but it had those people. It had him, and then it had program director to be announced, and there was another position that had to be announced by it. Did Stan have grass cutting business that was paid by the grant? I don't think so. There was another business at that meeting. We're gonna have to go back and look at that meeting. Sounds like 57. I just want to know where they found them when we spent the hour listening to Stan and them go back and forth and say that they didn't have enough youth. They didn't have any youth that could pass the drug test. That was a whole hour talking about that. There you go. Everybody at that point was cutting grass. Stan said he was cutting grass. Then he said him, Kamal, and I don't know who else was out there cutting grass one day. So I don't know. Yeah, that meeting drained me, child. Listening to that for an hour about grass, and then we still had to finish the meeting. That was so draining. Hey, how you doing, Cynical Stuff? That's a lot of grass. No wonder nobody can pass the drug test around there. Okay. Yeah. So these numbers, yeah, that's that right there. I'm like 57 males. Where did you find 57 males? And you say you couldn't find anybody to cut the grass. So now they have a total of 99 youth in the at-risk youth program. This is what they're saying now. We gonna go and look somewhere else. They done did 250%, 254%. They are over. They this is an on paper. This looks like an excellent program, right? This looks like, man, this thing far exceeded anything on the hopes and dreams of what they wrote on the application. My God, today, okay. Uh-huh. That's what I said. But they didn't do the proper, they didn't get hired properly. And that's what people were trying to tell them in the meeting. You need to know how to do business with a governmental entity. You can't just be taking somebody's word and they tell you to cut the grass and you cut the grass. Okay. All right. Now we're gonna scroll down and see who signed this. And again, now they at $803,127.50. And here we go. Robet again. Robet Hunt, right there. Look at it. It's right there. All right, and that's it. This thing says that they spent $803,127.50. So if this was $1 million grant, did they give the money that they did not spend back? Because the total right here, this is the last page, says $803,000, not $1 million. Okay. So still loads of questions on this grant. Loads of questions for me. Where did you find all these people, all of these males, after you said you couldn't find anybody to cut the grass, to do the ZAP program? SP, have you seen an event under this outreach department? No, not at all. Not at all. Okay. So that's your update on the youth grant. I may come back with some more. We're going to continue to be updated on this, right? Because now I have even more questions, right? And I need to get even more answers, right? Because I have even more questions. Tell me in the chat some of your questions that you have. I'm going to tell you one of mine. One of my questions is, you had 99 youth, you had 57 males. Did you have enough staff to be following all these people? You were supposed to have counselors. You were supposed to have, they were supposed to have access to people that helped them secure a permanent job, right? So because this program come to an end, because what happened was, what I was told was that the youth that participated were given jobs in the municipalities. The grant paid their salaries and they worked out in the municipalities, right? So that would mean after this grant money was gone, then their job would end. So they were supposed to have people that were helping them find permanent placement if that's what they needed, licensed people, right? We're going to get into these licensed people. And I feel kind of like, one licensed person is really giving me pause because I feel bad for them, kind of. But we'll get into who they are as we move through the rest of these FOIs. I remember seeing that outreach department, Kamal was the only employee on. Yeah. But then let me tell you what I was told. Okay. I was told that after this grant ended and then Kamal was moved permanently as the director of youth and I believe family services. Imagine that. And what credentials did he have? Because Lori Lightfoot told us that he only had 2 pages in his file. That's what I was told. What kind of fun could 64 of us have with child. I got so many bills I could pay off. How is it no one made the connection of the youth program address matching a business that was a car wash? There could be a question. You know, I'm gonna email. I'm gonna email the FOIA officer again and see. I like the grant writer's name. They'd be getting a note and could point us in the right direction of where to bring this to light. I'll have to see if the township has employed a grant writer, or who was the author of this. I will check. Hold on. Let me write this down. So we want to check the address. Who the grant writer was. What is frightening to me is that this one small part of a giant. I know that's right. You think ghost participants, and I do. Because I'm going to show y'all. Let me show y'all the register again, okay? One person overseeing $1 million and overseeing 50 kids. It was 99 kids, wow, my gal. 99. Why were there checks and balances regarding this? Where were the like I said, Saint Center at the state level, there's not strict restrictions. So there's not many people looking. So at the federal level, right? So let's talk about ARPA funds. At the federal level, there is a whole system that you have to log into, and it takes you through all these screens that you have to answer and plug in things, right? And you are responsible, and somebody checks and audits, right? That's not the case of the state. You see these papers they turning in? This is their check, a paper. When the state really needs to have a system like the federal system that they are required to log into and then answer all of these questions. And one person should be designated to do that. It shouldn't be 3, 4, 5, 6 people. One person. That way, when an auditor come back and say something is wrong, they're going directly to that one person and say, no, you entered this. Where did this come from? What is this? Salaries would be taxed to the easily tracked. Yeah. Hey, babe. So how are you? Waven Smith, this is what I'm asking. What credentials did he have to be running the department as a director of the Youth and Family Services? And those 2 papers were this direct deposit for payment. That's hilarious. He had kids. Shanita, I'm not doing this with you today. Why were there no checks and balances regarding this grant? It's the state. They don't have that many, checks. That's how these are some of the things that the residents need to be concerned about, right? But navigating the Senate and House website, I'm going to show you guys in a later video that I'm going to do how you can fill out a witness slip, right? You're going to fill out you can fill out a witness slip. The witness slip will say, I don't agree with this law, and it will put your name and your vote and your comment into record. You can also go to the same place, click witness slip, and set up a Zoom testimony where you go and you vote and where you talk and you say why you are against said bill, right? And it'll be in the record. I'm so done with y'all. Y'all is cutting up over here, okay? All right, so let me go to the register. So what I tried to do with the register that we got from the township. Remember this register we got? Bobo, that's funny. But now we should not be surprised. That part, we just can't be surprised, right? Okay, so now we're gonna go to the register. This is the register that I got from the township. Right. So I'm looking at the register and you see all of these ones that say at risk youth, right? These should be the names of the kids that participated in the program, right? So I'm counting, I tried to count how many kids and how many names that didn't repeat, right? Because you have to make sure that you're not counting the same child more than once. It's just that name one time. I don't know that there are 99 kids listed here. 99 different names. I don't see that. Right? I don't going through this whole register. I do not see 99 children's names listed here with the at-risk youth. Beside it. At-risk youth, at-risk youth. Now I do know that they paid the ZAP. Not the some of these are employees, but they paid the youth to cut the grass out of this too. But I don't see 99 names, different names here. Now this is one register for April. I don't see 99 different names here. Because we should literally have 2 pages of different names for the 99. I do not see that. Okay, now that's just me. If I had to say, I would probably say they might have 30 names still right here. But that's just me. And allegedly. Okay? But that right there. Okay? All right. Wasn't her cousin, sister working part time for the average sister. So actually, it was her sister in law that was working with this at risk youth program. And where I have that sister in law's employee file. We'll get to her. That won't be today, but we'll get to her. And this is the person that I'm telling you that I'm conflicted about. Why? Because she's actually credentialed. She's actually a licensed professional, right? She is actually a licensed professional. So I'll give you that little tidbit and then we'll do another little show with the rest of the employees. And allegedly, let me tell y'all something. Allegedly, I don't have to say allegedly because I have proof of it, but allegedly, this woman, Lil Stank, was paying some contractors daycare services with township money. Now, who and how? Because if you're a contractor, you don't get benefits like the employees. You're a contractor. Okay, child. There were families that said their youth hadn't been paid. I remember that, and yes, there was. And I listen. Allegedly, some employees of the township went to try and purchase something at a business, and there was an unpaid bill there by Lil Stank from, you guessed it, the Teen Summit and the At-Risk Youth Program. Now, why would the bill be unpaid when you have $1 million grant? The bill was only for $700, allegedly. I am now trying to get a copy of the unpaid bills. But why would the bill be unpaid? Because that was a part of the at-risk youth and you had $1 million and it was part of the expenses and you could have just paid it. So I'm confused of why that bill is unpaid. Or and probably still is unpaid to this day. Well, okay. I just received a copy of the bill that went unpaid from the Teen Summit. Child, this crazy. I'll show y'all that at a later date. Thank you. Thank you, whoever it was that sent me the proof. I appreciate you. Okay. So the average youth thing, I still have a lot of questions, right? I still got a lot of questions. Where are my contracts for these counselors and things? Where are they? Okay. Moving it, honey. Moving. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? That money was moving faster than a baby learning how to crawl. Okay. Now, and she don't. Now let's go here. Today, the first employee application or packet that I have that we'll be talking about is Keith Price. Y'all ready? We gonna do this and we out of here because we got to come back late tonight on Twitch, child. I got to get ready for that. That's a whole nother situation. Okay? Child, people didn't even get a roof. They got a lien on their roof. They got a lien on their roof. They didn't even get a roof. All right. Here we go. This is Keith Price application or an employee packet for the township. Okay. Okay, y'all looking good. Look at this. So GA is General Assistance Fund. He's an assistant manager at the pantry, the Harvey Food Pantry. He was hired. Y'all look at this timing because he was hired right when Lil Stank came. Look at his salary, $56,000, and he gets an expense check for $1,400. I don't know, you working at a pantry. I don't know why you need a $1,400 expense check, but that's what you got there. Okay. He's married. We all know that. This is everything that's in his file. They black out some things for, redaction purposes, things that they are not allowed to tell you by law. So if you ask for somebody's packet, they will black out or strike out the things that they need to strike out. This was a letter from the finance department telling them that he paid too much. It says the excessive amount was deducted, and we sincerely apologize for the oversight. So they had to end up paying him $285 because they took some of his extra money out of his benefits. So they paid him back. So this was his date of hire. These are all the benefits he selected. Those are all the people that I think he added to his plan, his wife. Okay. Anytime that something changes with your schedule or how you're paid, they have to fill out this employee information form. And this person forgot to check change because that's what they did. They changed his salary. Do you see his salary went from 56,000 to 72,000? That is one heck. I mean, that is one heck of a raise. Do you hear me? Do you hear what I'm saying? What did Chris Tucker say? Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? That's one heck of a raise. Let's see. Napo can do whatever he wants. He actually can get rid of them if he wants to. Let's see. I'm telling you, the is involved in racketeering. Child. No, Sharon, he is he gets paid out of the general assistance fund, and he is the assistant manager of the food pantry. GA, everybody, they denote where your salary is going to come out of. And so his salary comes out of the general assistance fund. But what I want you to take note of is he was hired when Lil Stank became supervisor. Let me see what else y'all saying. Bobby Murray had all those jumping bean salaries posted. He went from 50 almost. Yeah. I wouldn't doubt it. Wait, where does it say assistant manager of food pantry? I will scroll back up and show you. I can't wait for the next 6 board meetings. Yes, child. And $2,000 in expenses. You see that? Okay, $2,100. He get a $2,100 check besides for his paycheck and expenses for the month. Plus, he claimed he made $300,000 last year. I'm sure he did. Y'all is tripping in these comments. He gets an expense account to drive the township truck from place to place. Yep. Okay, let me scroll back up because somebody wanted to see where it said assistant manager. So on his original application, right here, in this box over here, the left-hand side under employment information, GA with a dash. So GA, General Assistance Fund, dash AST, assistant manager, right there. Then in position title, it says assistant manager. Okay. Then let's go back down to, did I skip it? Now I'm getting out of hand because I'm going too fast. Hold on, let's see, can we go back? Oh yeah, I'm going way too fast because this part, you guys are going to want to hear this part. Okay. Here we go. So this was the raise. Hey, French. Okay, so this was the raise, 72,000. Everything went up. He even got 100. This time they added $150 phone check, right, to pay his phone bill. Yeah, okay. Lord have mercy. But anyway, y'all see it. I'm just showing you what came in it for it. Now, this is what I want to get to. This is a beautifully written email from Carmen Carlisle to Aquila, who is in the HR department, about, and everybody was CC'd, all of the Delgado lawyers. You see their names all there. Tiff 2, this guy James, I don't think we ever saw him, James, but Delgado was CC'd too. Okay. Aquila is the HR, is an HR person at the township. Okay. Carmen wrote this email to her about Keith Price. Okay. And it gives timeline. That's why I love this email. Carmen was on her, okay, when she wrote this email, because it broke down everything that this man has done, all of the intimidation and everything. So let's read. She says, Dear Aquila, I am writing to file an official complaint against Mr. Keith Price. To my knowledge, Keith Price is the manager at the food pantry, but he has also been acting in the capacity of senior advisor to Supervisor Hinyard. Supervisor Hinyard mentioned that Keith Price performs duties like those previously handled by the former senior advisor. On June 26, 2024, I requested that Keith Price submit all township requests via email, as I had concerns about a lack of transparency from the supervisor Henry's office. Despite my repeated requests, Price continued to text my personal cell phone from January 28th to July 14th regarding township business, even after I specifically requested that he communicate with me via email. This right here is harassment. Right here. When you tell someone, do not contact my personal phone, you need to contact me via email, and they still do it, that's that doesn't make any sense to me. Why you would still be doing that, right? So this is the reason why the restraining order came, because you are texting my personal phone after hours about township business. Why? Okay. I love the timelines that she gives. So on July 14th, 2024, I informed the township attorneys of this matter and expressed. Now, she told the attorneys and expressed that this behavior felt like harassment. I also emailed Supervisor Henyard stating that I was unaware of Keith Price's official position with the township, did not recall the board voting on a new position for him, and was unaware of any changes involving him in day-to-day operations. I informed her that since Keith Price is not an official employee in a relevant capacity, any correspondence I have with Supervisor Henyard's office should come directly from her, and I would no longer accept correspondence from Mr. Price. Despite this, Keith Price continued to email me a few more times after that. Okay? That was in July. June and July are the offenses. During our special meeting, August 15, 2024, called by the Board of Trustees, Keith Price, now you can go directly to that meeting and see, I know you guys are going to remember this whole entire scene. Keith Price went up to the podium. She told Keith, go ahead, Keith. And Keith went up to the podium. He had a whole stack of papers saying that they printed all of this stuff out for Carmen and she didn't want it. Do y'all remember that? Now we finna get to the bottom of why she didn't want the papers, because she didn't say anything. She didn't say anything. We actually hadn't had a chance to hear from her about what actually transpired. It just looked one-sided. It looked like they were producing information and she was not accepting it. That's what it looked like, right? That's what it looked like to the public. That they were giving her, Keith was giving her what she asked for, and she turned around and didn't want it. So let's read what actually she asked for and what actually she got. Let's read. During our special meeting on August 15, 2024, called by the Board of Trustees, Keith Price made derogatory statements toward me and displayed aggressive behavior toward the trustees. Following this, on August 16th, he sent me an email alleging that I had lied about my statements in the public meeting. I did not respond to this message. However, on August 17th, I received a text message from an individual informing me that Mr. Price had posted inappropriate content about me on Facebook, including referring to me as Carlier instead of Carlisle, and sharing personal information about my background with my birthday and previous address, implying that I am a liar. You guys remember that post? The first folder Keith held up was not thick enough to be how many papers he said he had. Y'all remember that post? Y'all remember when he posted her personal information? We was all in Dalton Politics talking about it, saying that she should sue him for doxing her. Okay, so let's go to the next. It says, this behavior is extremely concerning, especially if Keith Price has access to sensitive employee information. Exactly. It raises serious questions about what other information he might be willing to put on the internet if individuals do not align with Supervisor Henyard's administration's tactics. To clarify the situation, Keith Price is attempting to allege I lied about receiving information. On July 13, 2024, I emailed Robert Hunt requesting a breakdown of payroll by department and a bill list separated by department expenditures in preparation for the upcoming board meeting on July 16th. Now let's take a pause right here. Wasn't Lil Stank keep saying in the meetings, I don't know why y'all wait to the meeting to get here and be asking questions. And you could have asked questions and took care of this before we got to this meeting. Now, look, Carmen on July 13th asked for the information that she needed for the board meeting on the 16th, on the 13th, for the meeting on the 16th. She asked the whole 3 days before the meeting was even to be had. She asked for the information. Okay. Then she says Robert Hunt replied, stating that he had been instructed to tell me to direct my request to Supervisor Henyard, who would then direct her staff. Mr. Hunt added that if I had any questions or concerns about the process, I should reach out to Keith Price. Now look at Robert. Look at what Robert is doing. Robert is acting just like, do y'all remember when Lori Lightfoot, and I think I showed it on my channel, it's a clip on my channel, I can't remember what video it is. Lori Lightfoot said that Kasperick, I think his name was Chris Marabalo, was told by Lil Stank not to give the trustees any type of reports or information, and that if they wanted something, they would have to request it directly from her. Okay. And so this is what that sounds like. Again, you sitting in that seat telling people that they don't never ask any questions. They wait till they get to the meeting. This woman asked 3 days before the meeting for some information and was not given it, was told that she had to request it from Lil Stank. And we all know Lil Stank don't read emails. I don't know if she can, but she don't. All right. So on July 13th, 2024, she also emailed Supervisor Henyard informing her of her request to Robert Hunt regarding financial information for the upcoming board meeting on July 16th, 2024, and I attached the initial email I sent to Mr. Hunt. I did not receive a response from her office. See, this is where Robert got himself messed up, right? By refusing to give information to a trustee who is authorized to ask for the information and get it without anybody's permission. But anywho, I digress, child. Additionally, on July 14, 2024, I sent an email to Supervisor Henyard regarding the agenda items for the ordinances that the trustees had submitted to be added to the agenda, but were not included. I think Brittany Norwood said this same thing about Lil Stank and their meetings. Keith Price responded to this email, and I replied reiterating that I would only communicate with him via email due to him texting me that same day. Now, why would you be texting this woman when she told you that she was not doing that with you? I also expressed my concerns about receiving agenda items and bills later than desired, as I had not received the necessary documents for review at the time for the July 16th board meeting. The Board of Trustees finally received the information concerning the July 16th board meeting from the clerk's office on July 15th. How do you receive over 400 sheets of paper the day before a meeting, and this is a part-time job? How am I to properly review documents and be prepared to represent the residents in a meeting, and I'm getting 400 sheets of paper via email document the night before? That doesn't make any sense. I also requested many invoices to be sent via email. Robert Hunt printed them out on July 15th and stated that I could review them at the clerk's office. Now, why would you do that? In addition to the invoices, now see, this makes me not feel bad for him having to read all that stuff from the paper because he should have did what she asked him to do. In addition to the invoices, I requested a list of employee salaries broken down by fund, specific information regarding media contractors, the Nation Builder contract or agreement, information regarding the outreach department and its employees, and a request to all department heads asking for a list of the employees within their department and a list of their recurring monthly bills. I picked up the invoices from the clerk's office on July 15th and then decided to return it a few minutes later, as the packet did not include any of the items specifically mentioned above. So all of those papers that Keith Price was holding up in his hand was not even anything that she asked for. Child, listen, the smoke and mirrors be deep. So all of those papers that he held up and said, you return the papers, we printed them out, and you return the paper. There was not anything that she asked for. We just read what she asked for. She just told us there was nothing in those papers that she asked for. She said, my decision to receive information via email is for transparency and accountability. I do not want Supervisor Henyard's office to claim they provided me with information that may not have been included in the 450-page document. I had also expressed several times that my preferred method of communication from Supervisor Henyard's office is email. You see that? 450 pages. That's insane. As a result, the board did not pass any bills in July 16, 2024 meeting. Supervisor Henyard's office later reached out on July 31st via email asking if the Board of Trustees could attend a special meeting. I responded on August 1 that I would be amenable to a special meeting, but wanted to know if our ordinances would be added to the agenda. They never responded. Attached to the email sent on July 31st was a bill list. Within the email, the supervisor's office asked if we could approve additional bills at the special meeting, which they never scheduled. This bill list was sent in an organized manner, but we still had questions about invoices from the previous meeting that had not been submitted in the way requested via email. Keith Price claimed that he gave the invoices to the clerk, but I did not see the transfer of the invoices from Robert Hunt to the clerk. There was no communication sent via email from the time of the last board meeting, July 16th, to the present time that Supervisor Henyard, Keith Price, or anyone in her office stating that the invoices were in the clerk's office for review. And I did not see any direct transfer from Mr. Hunt to the clerk of the invoices. Supervisor Henyard's office expressed their concern in July 31 email about the need for certain bills to be approved for payment, but never scheduled a special board meeting, even though the board responded to the call. The Board of Trustees took it upon themselves to call a special meeting to pass some ordinances and pay certain bills that we felt comfortable approving without seeing a supporting invoice. Yes, we received the bill list on July 31st in an organized manner. The board requested the bill list in an organized manner for July 16th meeting. We did not receive the information in the way it was requested. We did not receive the invoices for review that were requested before the July 16th meeting. If you're a part of my member community, these are some of the things that Chris Gonzalez was talking about in his interview. If you want to know what he said, join the member community and you can watch all of those videos and they will tell you. And he will tell you about this portion that Carmen is talking about. Supervisor Henyard's office never followed up with the board meeting regarding whether we received clarification on the invoices. Unfortunately, the board was not able to approve the entire list in its entirety at the special board meeting on August 15th. Supervisor Henyard's office had never sent us the payroll we requested at the time, nor did they send the many other requests. I submitted four requests on August 1st, 2024, in hopes of receiving the information in this format. 3 of the requests have not been responded to. The other, they claim, is asking for too much information. In conclusion, this behavior from Keith Price is concerning as a board member. If Mr. Price has access to other employees' records, what information might he be willing to share about them if they do not comply with the supervisor's demands? He shared an internal email without a FOIA request submitted. What other sensitive information might he be willing to share freely without proper authorization? Again, I feel that Keith's Price behavior is aggressive, and I believe that he and Supervisor Henyard's administration are attempting to intimidate me. During the board meeting, someone was standing behind me, watching to see if I text anyone during the meeting, which made me feel unsafe and uncomfortable, along with the other people standing behind the board heckling us. As an official of Thornton Township, I have the right to vote in the best interest of the township. Ask questions about employees' duties, positions, salaries, and any other matters related to the township. I will not allow anyone from Supervisor Henyard's office to intimidate me from holding them accountable and ensuring transparency. This is an official complaint against Keith Price. I'm requesting a copy of this complaint be placed in his personnel file. I have CC Attorney Jim Cecil and Attorney Tiffany, that's Tiffany too, on this complaint. I request that this matter be taken seriously. There you are, sincerely. Thank you. The views and opinions expressed in this email being solely to the sender should not be attributed to Thornton Township. And that is, then these are the rest of the papers, just tax papers. Let me see, was there a change? Okay, this is insurance enrollment again. This is earnings from 4/22 to July 22. Look at this. Gross pay, then he get this stipend check. So he was getting, at that point, he was getting $3,500. And then it just went up from there. This is the credit card agreement that they signed. Boy, this is wild that you signed the credit card agreement. Keith got hurt at work at the pantry, it seems. It was seen that on June 20 of 22, it says Mr. Price opened the barbecue grill and a large flame popped out, causing him to step back. In doing so, he must have hurt something or twisted something. Maybe he hurt his knee or something, and that's what happened. This was somebody's witness statement, witnessing the event. So he got hurt at work somehow. Well, they were barbecuing, looks like. I don't know. Okay, so this is the incident report. It says we were short-staffed and preparing for a special event. The few people that worked very hard that day, I wanted to thank them by barbecuing after the fire started smoking heavy. I can't read this person writing. The door to a huge fire flame burst towards me. Oh, he wrote this. That's why I pushed and turned and so he must have hurt something. And so that's medical information. So they will black it out. And so they were barbecuing that day for an appreciation and he got hurt. Now here's another change. I think this was an earlier change because this one only says 61,000. And we know that the last one says 7 years, so that was an earlier change. Then he signed a fuel card agreement, life insurance, and that's it. Okay. Okay, let me go back and read these comments I missed. I missed a lot of comments. Okay, wait, I missed a lot of comments. I gotta go back. Okay, Iceman Gibson, hey, did you check your email? I hope you did. A whole run from what he said, Lord, bye. Okay. That folder KP Hell was sticking up to it. Child, it wasn't even nothing in that folder that they asked for. That's the thing that took me out. Doing just like Lil Stank. When she had said she had receipts and be all these papers on the desk. Okay. That wasn't good Pinterest. It was funky assistant manager. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Said Tiff didn't want to do a deep dive into it now. I think I need to reconsider my appointment, become an auditor, but then I'd be a target. The child. Hey, Lee Hamilton, how are you? How many times was Whitney stated you can call my girl? This is what I'm telling you. Keith wanted some of those Hershey kisses. And she was like, no. Oh my God. Y'all cutting up in these comments. Hey, Justin. Don't you turn in receipts to get reimbursed by the stipend? I don't know how that works. And I don't think so. I think that check just goes out at the beginning of the month every month. And he did, Kenneth Dawkins. No, they didn't cater any event. The director of the food pantry, who I believe is Tanika Hughes, she wanted to thank the employees for working really hard. They had some sort of special event that they did for the residents, I'm guessing, and she wanted to barbecue for the employees that day, and that's what happened. That's when that happened. I don't know, just that one. Okay, that was Keith's Price file. We have several more files to go, but we will be taking care of that in a different time. That's all I have for today. And somebody asked me a question. I think somebody's watching this, but they're behind. Let me see. Somebody's on my YouTube now watching a different video, and this is the question that they asked. Is this the job of the comptroller of the state? There are same people that are to oversee how money is spent. I read the Illinois does not enforce these audits. Thornton Township or Dalton, not sure. I read flat out refused to comply. If that's how the case, how Tiffany Henry administrator be held accountable. She's out also. Okay. So to this person, I think their name is Auntie. The comptroller wouldn't have anything to do with this particular grant, with the at-risk youth grant, because that grant came from the Department of Human Services. So if you ask me, they should maybe employ the comptroller's office in these situations. There maybe should be 2 layers of auditing, comptroller and the actual entity that they should have their own auditing process, but then this information should be checked and looked over by the comptroller. But that would be a lot, for me. I feel like the state should have someone, a department regulated to grants that go out from the state, no matter what department it comes from, Department of Human Services, housing, or whatever. And any and all correspondence should be done with that state agency. And I feel like they should need to implement something like the federal ARPA dollars where there is a whole system that you have to log into and put in these numbers and put in these things, and somebody audits that. That's their job. Right now, I don't think that is something that happens. But, I'll also answer you when I get done with this. I'll answer you. Okay. We are on Twitch tonight. Late tonight. Hope you guys, I'm trying to get off early so you can go and take a nap. And be back up tonight. I gotta get prepared for tonight. So that's what I'll be doing. Who birthday today? I know Nissa. Anissa. It is your birthday today. Everybody say, no, your birthday tomorrow, right? You said it's 17th? Okay, maybe today. Hey, Missy. Anissa, it's your birthday? That's what you want? The birthday song? Anissa, you got to talk to me fast because we got to get out of here. Oh, Jody, sorry to hear that. It's hard. Well, his knees pushing everybody around. I know that's right. Tomorrow. Okay, Anissa. Your birthday is tomorrow. And you want the birthday song. You want happy birthday. Okay. That's it. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Anissa. Happy birthday to you. Child. Happy birthday. Listen, all of the May birthdays, happy birthday to every person who's having a birthday in May. I can't believe we in May about to march into June. But we are. This is where we are. Okay. Well, I will see you guys on Twitch tonight. Make sure you have your notifications turned on so that you can be here on Twitch. Okay. All right. I'll see y'all on Twitch. Thank you guys for even following my Twitch. Thank you guys for doing that. I appreciate you. Listen, we about to have fun over there. Exactly. Monday is the swearing in for Thornton Township, and everybody will begin sworn in on on Napoleon Harris's ticket for Monday, and it's between 1 and 4. So, if you guys plan on watching the swearing in, it's 1 p.m. 4 to 4 p.m. If you're on Eastern Standard Time, thank you, Anissa Starks, for the super chat. If you're on Eastern Standard Time, it's going to be 2 p.m. And if you're 2 hours behind us, maybe 11, something like that. And if you're 3 hours, it's going to be 10. I'm sure he'll be there. Nope, not even. He has to get sworn in. So let's hope that, you can't get sworn in via Zoom. I don't know. But as far as I know, he'll be there. So you all look for people's notifications to go off around that time. There's supposed to be a Thornton Township meeting at 12:30, I heard. Nissa. There's supposed to be a Thornton Township meeting first, I think at 12:30 or something like that, and then they're going to be going right into a few minutes break, and then I heard they're going to be going right into the swearing ceremony. All right, listen, thank you all of you guys for tuning in, and I'll see you later.